There once was an owl perched on a shed. 50 years later the owl was dead. 50 times 50 and the years go by. Corn keeps best when it's cool and dry. And 50 times 50 and one by one, night begins when the day is done. Some say mice are in the corn. Some say kittens are being born. Some say a kitten becomes a cat. Mice are likely to know about that. Some cats are scratchy and some are not. Corn grows best when it's damp and hot. Owl on the shed, cat in the clover, mice in the corn, and it all starts over. 50 times 50 and one by one, night begins when the day is done. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie, where the wild coyote will howl o'er me, and the buffalo paw on the prairie sea. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie. It makes no difference, so I've been told, where the body lies when life grows cold. Oh, grant this wish to me. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie. I've often wished to be laid when I die by the little white church on the green hillside. By my father's grave there let mine be. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie. The cowboys gathered all around his bed to hear the last words their partner said. Oh, comrades all, be warned by me, never leave your homes for the lone prairie. Don't listen to the enticing words of the men who own large droves and herds, for if you do, you'll rue the day that you left your home for the lone prairie. Oh, bury me not, and his words failed there, but they paid no heed to his dying prayer. In a lonely grave, just 6 by 3, they buried him there on the lone prairie. Yes, they buried him there on the lone prairie, where the owl at night hoots mournfully, and the blizzards beat on the prairie sea, or the lonely grave on the lone prairie. him down. The wool on this ram's back, sir, reached up to the sky. The eagles built a nest there, for I heard the young ones cry. And he rambled, and he rambled, and he rambled, till the butcher cut him down. This ram had a horn, sir, reached up to the moon. The fella went up in January and never got back till June. And he rambled, and he rambled, and he rambled, till the butcher cut him down. The butcher that cut this ram, sir, was drowned in the blood. The little boy that held the bow got washed away in the flood. And he rambled, and he rambled, and he rambled, till the butcher cut him down. There's a land beyond the river that we call the sweet forever, and we only reach that land by fate's decree. One by one we gain the portal, there to dwell with the immortal. When they ring the golden bells for you and me. Don't you hear the bells now ringing? Don't you hear the angels singing? 'Tis a glory, hallelujah, jubilee. In that far off sweet forever, just beyond the shining river. When they ring the golden bells for you and me, we shall know no sin nor sorrow in that haven of tomorrow. When our bark shall sail beyond the silver sea, we shall only know the blessing of our Father's sweet caressing. When they ring the golden bells for you and me. Don't you hear the bells now ringing? Don't you hear the angels singing? 'Tis a glory, hallelujah, jubilee. He came to the room where she lay. She neither had the wings for to fly away, nor the tongue for to tell him nay, 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 nor the tongue for to tell him nay. Go bring to me some of your father's gold, and some of your mother's fee, and the 2 best horses in your father's stall, wherein stands 30 and 3, 3, 3, wherein stands 30 and 3. She brought to him some of her father's gold, and some of her mother's fee, and the 2 best horses in her father's stall, wherein stood 30 and 3, 3, 3, wherein stood 30 and 3. She mounted on her milk-white steed, and he the iron gray, and they rode out from her father's stall, about 3 long hours before day, 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 about 3 long hours before day. Take off them fine clothing, and lay them down by me. 6 kings' daughters have I drowned it in the sea, and the 7th one you will be, and the 7th one you will be. Take off them fine clothing, and lay them down by me. They are too fine and costly for to rot in the bottom of the sea, 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 for to rot in the bottom of the sea. It's turn yourself all around and about, and view the leaves on the trees. She picked him up so manfully, and plunged him into the sea, 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 and plunged him into the sea. Lie there, you false-hearted men, lie there in the place of me. 6 kings' daughters have you drowned it in the sea, but the 7th one I'll not be, but the 7th one I'll not be. She mounted on the milk-white steed, and led the iron gray, and she was back in her father's stall, about 1 long hour before day, 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 about 1 long hour before day. Then up rose the polly parrot, as loud as she could be. What is all this cluttering about, so long before 'twas day, 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 so long before 'twas day? Hush up, you pretty Polly, and tell no tales on me. Your cage it shall be made of yellow beaten gold, and hung on a willow tree, 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 and hung on a willow tree. little Margaret sitting in her high hall door, combing her long yellow hair, saw sweet William and his new made bride riding down the road so near. She threw down her ivory comb, she threw back her long yellow hair, says I'll go down and bid him farewell and never more go there. It was all lately in the night, when they were fast asleep, little Margaret appeared all dressed in white, standing at their bed feet. It's how do you like your snow white pillow? How do you like your sheet? How do you like the fair young maid who lies in your arms asleep? It's fine I like my snow white pillow, and it's fine I like my sheets. Much better do I like the fair young maid standing at my bed feet. He called to his serving men to go and saddle the dappled roan. He rode to her father's house that night, and he knocked on the door alone. Is little Margaret in the house, or is she in the hall? Little Margaret's in her coal black coffin with her face turned toward the wall. Hold back the snow white rose, be they ever so fine. Let me kiss the cold clay lips, for I know they'll never kiss mine. Once he kissed her lily white hand, twice he kissed her cheeks, 3 times he kissed her clay cold lips, and he fell in her arms asleep. Before the century turned in 1882, there was born a man who always knew just what he had to do. A man of many talents, a man of wit and grace, a man who saw a need and met it face to face. A teacher he became, and then a lawyer too. He peddled trees throughout the hills as he was wont to do. He traded them for songs, for he thought they should be saved. He learned them all and shared them, these to the world he gave. Bascom Lunsford was his name, his home was Turkey Creek. His travels took him far and wide, the ballads for to see. He remembered where he got there, he always told us so. Commit them all to memory, we'll save them then you know. He sang for kings and presidents and folks like you and me. He brought them all together and they still meet to see. Every year in summer they come to dance and sing, play on the fiddle and the banjo and make the mountains ring. the dew and morning settles gently on the rose, shimmers in the rising sun, and just as softly goes. Softly came the dark-eyed gypsy, tapping on my cabin door, begging for a scrap of bread and a pallet on the floor. I took in the ragged beauty, so humble yet so strange, knowing all along that I would never be the same. Could have kept her if I'd only known how to make a whirlwind feel at home, how to lock a wild bird in a cage of raging wind. Dancing in the mystic moonlight, the gypsy cast her spell. Through 1,000 golden dreams, her willing lover fell. I awoke to find her standing close beside the windowsill, gazing toward the dawning sky as everything grew still. Came the ragged band of gypsies, riding on the fog of dawn. When the lifting fog gave way, the gypsy girl was gone. I would have followed if I'd only known how the wandering gypsies ride the dawn, or how to trace the wild bird's flight, raise the flying wheel. Softly comes the dew and morning settles gently on the rose, shimmers in the rising sun, and just as softly goes. Softly went the dark-eyed gypsy, tiny footprints left behind. May the blessed sands of time soon cover them, so I won't think about her anymore, or listen for a tapping on my door, or cry to hear the wild birds sing, or sigh to hear the wind. Oh, sweet and Liza Jane. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. Would be Liza Jane. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. She'd ride on the train. Went up on the mountain to give my horn a blow, and there I met that pretty little girl coming down the road. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. Would be Liza Jane. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. She'd ride on the train. Her lips were like the cherry, her cheeks were like the rose, and how I love that pretty little girl, the Lord Almighty knows. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. Would be Liza Jane. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. She'd ride on the train. Her head was like a coffee pot, her nose was like a spout, her mouth was like a fireplace with ashes all about. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. Would be Liza Jane. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. She'd ride on the train. If I had a needle and thread, fine as I could sew, I'd sew my true love to my side, and down the road I'd go. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. Would be Liza Jane. Would be Liza, pretty little girl. She'd ride on the train. I met a little girl in Knoxville, a town you all know well. I never did know. The rolling hills of the border. I've traveled far, wandered wide. I've seen the Hudson and I've seen the Clyde. I've courted by Loch Lomond side. But I dearly love the border. There's a certain peace of mind. Bonny lassies there you'll find, men so sturdy yet so kind, among the hills of the border. When I die, bury me low, so I can hear the bonny Tweed flow. A sweeter place I never did know. The rolling hills of the border. I mourn for mine, my love, just like I mourn for mine. She's mourning for her own true love, just like I mourn for mine. The crow is black, my love, you know, it will surely turn to white. If ever I've forsaken you, bright day will turn to night. Bright day